Pisces, was good? It's your boy Dave B. You watching Beyond Astrology, where we go deep into all things, of course, related to astrology, but also spirituality, psychology, and all different types of esoteric spiritual tools that we can utilize to become better versions of ourselves. And as a result, as we become better versions of ourselves, we express better things into the world to make the world a better place as a byproduct. So welcome. I know y'all always, I know I'm late into the month. This is y'all January horoscope, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna get better with getting these out earlier, especially for y'all, because I know I'm a Pisces sun. I know we always at the last bit, you know what I'm saying? So if a person already taking a long time to get the whole thing done, it's like, damn, you know what I'm saying? But I got y'all. I got y'all. We gonna get more efficient with all of this stuff. But I appreciate y'all being here. One thing to note is that we're going to be focused on the rising sign, mainly because we're going to be looking at house placements and um, we're going to be and the reason for that is because the house placements give us an idea of where these transits are happening, and then we could get a better sense of the theme, the central theme of the each month that we're going through. So for January, being that we're going through both Capricorn and Aquarius season, we're going to be looking at your 11th house and 12th house. Now, depending on your degree of ascendant, it might be a little early, it might be a little late, say to the right, to the left, but for the most part, uh you can watch other readings to give you a full sense of the full energy going on if you got overlapping houses or anything like that. But have no fear, still the essence of the message will come through and you'll be all right. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So like I said, it's Capricorn season. This is going through your 11th house of friends, associates. Also, people say the unknown that can be known. So, topics that you're trying to learn more about. This could be a very educational time for you, especially with Jupiter trying to y'all. You got Jupiter probably in your what, your ninth house? No, not ninth. Is it the ninth? No, it's more like the where y'all got Cancer in the fifth house, right? If I'm not mistaken. Cancer in the fifth house. Yeah, because y'all sixth house is no, seventh house is Virgo. So yeah, so Cancer in y'all, um I just said it, man, in y'all fifth house, Cancer in y'all fifth house. So very creative time period right now going on for y'all. And then later in the year, Jupiter will be going into your sixth house of routine and things like that. So a lot of expansion for y'all. It's just a natural trine. The reason I brought it up is because it's a trine, so there's a gift in there for y'all. In this previous year we had a lot of water trines kind of connecting all those different things that we had energy going on in Scorpio for a time, and so y'all might have felt activated in different kind of ways. Hopefully you got something out of that. But for the most part, with this Capricorn energy in your 11th house, looking at kind of maybe friends, maybe even considering associations and whether or not you should still be in those associations. One of the key things about this time period, this is a weird liminal space type of time where people are telling you, oh, it's the new year, but the new year, the real new year doesn't start till spring. So in that's like late March, after your season when we go into Aries. So, a lot of people are having kind of issues with the false starts. People feel the pressure like they need to push out something, but this is honestly a time where we need to be more so considering what we want to actually put a resolve to, not so much using resolution as a term of what we want to start new, is what we want to put a resolve to and pack up and leave in 2025's energy. Now, that was an energy of the number nine. We're going into an energy of numerology one, so we need to be more focused on what it is you want. And that's highly important to consider. Now, there's Saturn late degrees, and Neptune is making its way into Aries, which is going to be your second house, right? So that's also very important to note. Pisces, y'all in a very interesting time, because on one end, with the sun and the stellium that's going on in Capricorn with Venus, Mars, which is exalted, and Mercury, you are considering your network, right? So you should be involved in your network. You should be kind of figuring out who's who, where your positioning is in the context of the public arena, right? And as you network and as you're connecting, you're also working with getting very real. And Saturn's been all up and through your sign, so you dealt with a whole year of having 2 years probably of having to be personally responsible for your life and what you got going on, which might have been a challenge depending on the other energies you have in your chart, but it should have showed you better ways to structure what you got going on and made it very clear what it is you need to what your personal interests are. And now you could take those things into the second house and start to plant seeds for those things to grow and become what you can offer to the world. So there's a lot of value in, now that you know your personal interests, you can now choose and have better discernment on your values as as Saturn and Neptune go into your second house. Neptune's going in there first at the end of the month. And again, that's an extremely potent time for creativity, and hopefully you put certain things in place for that to flourish in a way where you don't have to worry or concerned about again, you have some kind of system that can support your growth in that area. Now, this is why, right now with all this energy in Capricorn, being that it's late degrees now, it's like getting into the 20 degrees range. It's making a nice sextile with what's going on in Pisces, which is the opportunity, right? Saturn in Pisces, which is creating the opportunity to start to create those structures now. So, like I was saying about this time period from January up until March, you have a very potent time for you to get very serious and strategic about how you want to approach 2026. And also the next couple of years of your life, the next X amount of years you want to plan for. So, I would say start to get strategic with how you want to use your network and also be very clear, learn more about where your position is within the people that you're connected to, the people, places, and things that you're involved with that you would consider your associations that you're associated with. You want to clear out associations that no longer make sense within the vision of your life and the type of lifestyle you want to live. um yeah, that's very important. Now, as this energy goes into Aquarius, all of these things are going to pass through Pluto, which is sitting in your 12th house. Either 12th house or it might still be in your 11th house, but it's sitting in your 12th house, which again, this is you kind of clearing out things, again, clearing out who don't need to no longer be in your association. Also, what you no longer need to associate with, because you might still be associating the things that are just quite frankly keeping you held back. Um, as you move, as all the stellium starts to move, hopefully, if things might get a little confusing because you'll have Mercury in the 12th house, Mars in the 12th house, Venus. So, these things are going to be kind of drifting in this dream state, right? And the sun. So, but you thrive with a dream state, you know what I'm saying? So, but when you're in that space and you're working with your dreams, all of everything in Aquarius is going to start to sextile with Neptune that's getting into Aries. And so, again, another opportunity for you to allow yourself to dream the dream that you want to experience, dream it up, but also keep in mind just the reality that you need to figure out, with Pisces rising, like, well, depending on your sun and the moon is going to determine the difference. But Pisces as an energy might have to do this in a more intuitive way. You have to feel your way into how you want to construct these things. So I'm not going to say you have to figure it out. You have to think real hard. But you just, you never want to lose connection with reality. And that's just very important. So you want to make sure you're thinking in terms of how can this make sense in reality? But, you can do that from alignment, what makes sense within the confines of your reality, depending on your age. You've gone through life long enough to know kind of what works and what doesn't work. And if you're younger, let's say you're in your very early 20s or in your late teens and stuff like that, then you might have to, but those are the ages to experiment and you know kind of have fun and but just be mindful. Be mindful of what you're getting yourself into, and don't be afraid to ask for not necessarily help, but ask for clarity or ask other people to kind of listen in on your ideas. Only trusted people though. You don't want to get too many people in your mind, in your, too many voices in your head. Um, but yeah, that's what I would say. With Aquarius, just being that it's your 12th house, it might not be the time, especially not really the time to act on anything. I would wait, and just kind of take yourself more so to the drawing board and the mood board or the vision board and just start to move pieces around. And only your trusted cohort are the people that you need to talk to. But even them, you need to think for yourself. You need to believe in yourself. That's very important. That's what Neptune in Pisces was supposed to be teaching you anyway, how to believe in yourself. So now that you have the awareness of what believing in yourself really is or looks like or feels like, you can translate that into, believe in the things that you invest in with Neptune in the second house. Believe in the things that you value. Hopefully you value the right things, because if you value the right things value you. So, at this point in time, that's what you got to be on. In the new moon, like I said, the new moon is bringing a new awareness to what's going on in that 11th into 12th house space. So, you know, just being very clear on who you're associated with. This is going to bring a new sense of association, right? So you might even find yourself in a new community based upon your actual interests, your true interests. Hopefully, you know who you are so you can connect with the right individuals, but also a newfound belief in yourself. Reassessing your associations now so that you can have a clear idea of what you want to associate with as far as the belief system or the, creative avenues you want to take. Honestly, when we talk about the 12th house, we could talk about creativity, but honestly, I like to kind of look at it more so as far as like the belief system that you're trying to kind of work with, So the reason why, like, I look at astrology, everything is progression. So what you're doing now with the sun in Capricorn is, a kind of a call to action to be more serious about what you are associating with and taking the time, being that we're in the winter season and we're putting depth to things just to understand, like, hey, like I was saying before, some associations and things like that are holding you back, possibly, what I'm saying? It might be different for certain people in certain circumstances, but for the most part, you want to really get clear, serious, and sober about the different things that you are still connected to and connected with. So these could be people, but these could also even be perceptions about reality. And so if you take these ways of looking at life and perspectives into, further into this year, you take them into, as the sun is transiting through the 12th house for you, then, what I'm saying, that some of these things could create a certain, again, just as much as the 12th house could be creative, the 12th house could also be delusional. So you might be bringing, um, based upon your connections and the things you're associated with, again, mentally, not just physically like people, but mentally, things on your mind that you're still associating with, bringing those things into the new energy. You could still be connected to the wrong things that could leave you in a delusional space, making decisions that are not right for you. This whole year is big on alignment and what's actually true to you. So, and then also just keep in mind that stellium is going to pass through Pluto. So everybody's going to kind of go through an experience of something kind of being revealed to them, and then with Pluto is tricky. Pluto, you want to get ahead of the curve. You want to be um willing to let go. You want to be willing to, sacrifice things that are just not, it's almost like shedding dead weight. So you want to really be vigilant about shedding dead weight as you pass into this energy going into just later on down the line, later on in the month, probably in the next week or so, when the sun transits into Aquarius. You just want to be mindful of that. The new moon is already going to kind of pique your interest towards that, but as that comes along, then it's gonna be up to you to then take the initiative to continue, to put depth to the things that no longer, again, the dead weight, like shed the dead weight, basically. Yeah, for the most part, I think that's all the information I have. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. If you found this video useful, go ahead, drop me a like, and Also, I'm open for one-on-one readings. So if you would like to get one, you can email me at davebeyond95@gmail.com with astrology help in the subject line. I like to curate my readings based upon a person's individual needs. So just let me know what it is that you're looking for, what you want to know more about, what you want me to focus on during the reading, and I'll get that back to you. And yeah, subscribe if you're new here, and I will see you on the next one. Much love. Peace.